Welcome to Super Soul Sisters. My name is Jamila Luke and you're watching us here on UBC TV Inspiring Uganda. Super Soul Sisters airs every Wednesday, 9 p.m. I repeat on Friday, 11 a.m. And also if you want to catch us with all the episodes that we've hosted here on UBC TV, you can get us on YouTube. You just go to Super Soul Sisters, go to the channel, like, subscribe so that you get updates every time we post a new video. You should be able to watch. Today in studio we are with Akello Sandra. I'm yet to know what her venture is, but what I know that she looks lovely. I like the lime. The lime really brings that the Waganda call it okuyaka. Like,
thank you.
You are looking bright and beautiful.
Thank you
Thank you so much for coming to our show of Super Soul Sisters.
Thanks for the
invite. Have you been watching Super Soul Sisters?
I have watched it before, and I have seen quite a few people that I know.
Like who?
Ladies.
Give me two people.
I will give you one. I know of my chairperson at the Catholic Women's Guild at my church. And she's quite an inspirational woman. She's a woman of high caliber, and she's had quite a good career. And she recently celebrated 50 years in marriage. So we have quite a lot to look up to.
Okay.
Yes.
That's interesting. That's interesting because we've really hosted so many people in this show, and powerful women.
Absolutely.
Powerful women, because one time we had very powerful women from KCC. I call them powerful because they are the ones that keep Kampala clean.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and they shared their stories, and they were so interesting that that's the day I learned how to speak Luganda in studio. Because their stories were so interesting, and you could really, they took us through what a life of a cleaner in Kampala goes through.
Oh, okay.
You drive on those roads, you walk on those roads, but these people do the job as early as 5.
Yes.
Tell us, Sandra, where were you born?
So I am Sandra Akello. I was born in Soroti. My mom is from Kumi, and my dad is from Lira. So I am on the Eastern Northern Highway. Fully fledged.
That's interesting.
Fully fledged.
Yes.
Yes. So anywhere from Teso to Lango, I'm very comfortable.
That is from Kumi, Soroti,
to Lira.
Kaberemaido,
Absolutely.
Dokolo to
Yes.
Lira. Wow, interesting. I've never had someone who is from Lira and Kumi in this show. I've had people from Lira or Kumi or I think Kaberemaido also we've had, but not someone who covers the whole area.
I cover the whole area.
So since you cover the whole area of Langa and Teso, which schools did you go to in your primary?
I went to a nursery school I can barely remember as a child. Then we moved to Lira. My dad and my mom met then at UCC. So I think their middle ground was Soroti. And my dad was a banker then.
Yes.
He worked for Uganda Commercial Bank. And so my mom was equally an accountant.
Wow. So it was the same profession.
It was the same profession. So they decided to live there then, and then they moved to Lira. So then I went to St. Kizito Primary School. It's still there till now. Amazing, amazing school. Then I went to Aboke, St. Mary's College.
The famous Aboke.
The famous, amazing Aboke.
I hope you're not there during the time when they abducted the girls.
During the first abduction, I was in St. Kizito then, that was 97. Then during the second one, I was there, but we actually ran. We
are going to go there. First, tell me the story of, moving from Soroti to Lira, and then you go to the school. What was it like? Take us through, because you're coming from Soroti, people speak Ates and Swahili.
Yes.
Then you go to Lira is typically Langi.
Yes.
So how were you able as a child, if you can recall?
So my parents made sure that, one, we learned both languages. It was a must. So if this Christmas we were in Kumi, the next Christmas we would be in Lira. It was a must. And then secondly, during the holidays, the longer holidays, maybe say vacation, like P7, and then S4, we were mandated as girls, especially girls. Most of I and my cousins would be at the village, especially to learn how to cook. For us, that was something very intimate in the family. So you had to go and stay with your grandma.
In Kumi?
Yes, and Lira equally during the different vacations. So you had to learn how was food cooked like grandma cooks. So when it comes to our local food, so I'll speak for both sides. Emalakany, that's Malakwang. Echadoi, that's Akello. Ebo, that's Bo. Plus
mushroom and all that.
All that, including akobokobo,
Amukeke.
All that I know how to cook. In that at some point in time when I really wasn't doing a lot of work, I would make local dishes. So I have a niche and only a few friends of mine know it. So if you have a muko from my side, whether Teso or Lang or Acholi, I can cook the 5 dishes comfortably. So I'd come to your home, cook overnight and leave in the morning. So that is food for Bako. Yes. So I'd be paid for it. No, not why.
That is cheating. Because
it's called talent.
What if you cook food?
Yes.
And the man thinks it's the girl who has cooked. Then tomorrow they tell the person to cook the same
No, but this
food.
is a function.
If it is a function.
So I cook for functions, but I only cook those particular meals that are made for Bako.
Yeah, okay.
That includes pasted chicken. Like there are those local dishes that need to be cooked by. Yes.
The mushroom, pasted mushroom, pasted meat, dry meat. What?
So what would happen is they would ask me to make a dish. I think I look like a town girl, so they don't think I really know how to cook. Then they would ask me to cook it, and then I can give it to one of the older women to taste. And every time I gave them, they're like, we've never had somebody cook like this before. So I have never fallen short. So for my friends' traditional marriages, about 5 to 6 of them, I have literally cooked all their local dishes, and I've been paid. Because my parents taught us that, one, for each of the skill that you have, you should be able to live out of it, irrespective. So as early as P3, P2, I knew how to fry meat, fry beans, right?
Fry peanuts.
Yes, because my mother made sure that we knew, and that included the boys, we knew how to cook.
Boys in peso and love
yes,
to learn how to cook.
Yes, my mom was very intentional, including my uncles. So when my uncles came from home, from my grandma's side, and maybe they thought, oh, you know, we're just coming to our sister's home. No. My mom made sure everyone knew how to cook. There was a challenge, and maybe there was no girl at home. The boys would not suffer or eat any kind of food.
For the girls
yes,
to
she was very strict about food. There had to be a side dish. There had to be a full meal. There had to be greens.
Plus beans, plus a bowl, plus a chadoi, plus, you know.
If she's found that you have cooked one meal, there is a problem. Yes, there has to be a side dish. So I have taken that same to my home.
Wow, interesting.
Yes.
So then when you're in Lira in primary, you went to one primary school, St. Chizito?
Yes, right from P... Actually, I didn't go up to P7. I went from nursery, the early later nursery, because I studied nursery the other side, the later nursery to P2. Then that's when the rebels came. Yes. So when they attacked Aboke, I think they also extended to Lira. And there was a whole shake. The whole district was shaken. The whole of Lang was shaken. The whole of Teso was shaken. So then we were taken to Kampala. That's when we came to Kampala. And I came to Happy Hours Primary School in Kazo. It's in Kawempe. Very, very beautiful school. Then I went up to P7. And so all my siblings came through the same school as well. And that school loved us. It's one of the most beautiful schools I have ever known.
Yes.
It's an amazing HM, Mr. Mutiaba, all the happy hour schools, right from nursery, primary to secondary in Kazobwa, so have been amazing.
Let me ask you, Sandra, what is that thing that you remember? Because I know I studied in the village, in Kapokin, in my primary. And then because of the war still, we also had to come to Kampala, and they took me to Nakasero Primary.
Yeah.
But because of coming from the village, English was a problem. So every time kids wanted to talk to me, I would say, Mom, yeah, like I would say, leave me alone.
Oh, wow.
Because I couldn't speak. You know, in the village, they would teach you in Ate, so, all those things. So when I came, I remember this particular day that we're supposed to go for PE. In the village, we used to go for PE without nika. You just go to the PE.
Yes.
So here I didn't have a nika. And kids were like, remove, because they tell you to remove your clothes. And I'd forgotten to wear a panty, and they told me to remove the clothes.
Yes.
And I was a chubby baby, so every kid said, shame upon you, a big girl. So there is always that transition when you come from a village school to Kampala. There's a bit of... So you as Sandra, you tell us when you came from Lira, because remember you're coming from Lira, they speak Langi, they speak Ateso a bit, and then English is not, by then, not like now. I know that in 90s and early 2000s, they never used to emphasize on English so much. Then you come to Kawempe where people are speaking English. What was the experience like?
So for starters, our first language at home was English.
Okay, then you are lucky.
My parents were very intentional about it. And I think if you remember the earlier parents, they were like teachers and doctors, they were everything. My mom was very particular. You never spoke broken English. If you spoke, she'd ask you to repeat. You repeat until you know that you have made a mistake. That is what she would do. So she was very particular. We never had broken English at home. Now, when they knew that we were very good at English and were able to communicate, then they made sure we learnt both languages, both for mom and for dad.
Yes.
That was very important. So by the time we didn't have a challenge associating because of that. I remember our first, I don't want to say our first, but maybe when I can remember, when we were in Kumi. And I think this time I could remember, we were with our cousins and we were called the children that spoke English. My dad drove a red car, so every time the car came into the village, they're like, oh, the kids that speak English have arrived. So the first time we were asked, so we sat down to eat, as you know, so they would put their tapa in the large tray, and then they put for all of you a small saucer that has meat and sauce. So they told us to pray, kids from town. By the time we finished the prayer, the sauce was not there, and the atapa was done. So I like,
in that village, they mean business.
So I like, what happened? So I think my grandma knew. She's like, oh, we were crying. She's like, you know what? Just bring your plates, and I kept for you something. I think she knew that lesson was coming. So we did not know. My cousins were speaking in Ateso, and we didn't understand. That was a lesson.
That let them pray, we shall finish.
Let them pray, we shall. So they began telling them to distribute. I go to find out later on that, you know what, let's show these ones that they are from, they're from wherever they are. They speak English, we speak the language here.
Let us show them.
By the time we left, we had learned. And you know, for children, you learn by association.
Yeah, very fast.
The more you're there, the more you learn. When we came to Lira, it was really a walkover. The kids that were playing with the neighbors, the neighborhood was good. We had neighbors that would come into our home. And then, you know, so our home in Lira was such a big home, but it had Christmas trees that surrounded it.
Christmas trees now.
I really have no idea. So during Christmas, everybody else from everyone else's home came to our home to buy Christmas trees, yes. Not even just to cut, to actually buy.
Anyway, your parents were accountants, so it's
So
understandable.
our whole fence were Christmas trees. So everybody actually came home to buy Christmas trees. That's how crazy it was. Wow. And the farmland that we had, because my parents had a rice farm, they all had Christmas trees. I do not know if this was an investment or I have no idea. And I have recently gone to that place where we stayed and I don't see them. So I was wondering what happened. The place is flat. But my parents were that intentional about everything. So that is how we learned. We learned to work from other kids. So they invited other kids home. Learning to carry water, I learned, I think, in P2, P3, the 10-liter jerry can. I broke for all the neighbors until I learned. So I had a challenge. I was the youngest girl amongst the boys and the girls. So when the girls, as the baby, now I had a challenge to learn from both because I needed to match up. And I'm like, you know what? I cannot be there and I can't carry a jerry can, and everybody can. I learned. I can't be there and I don't know how to cook. I learned. So I think that for me has stayed with me for life. Instead of wanting to compete with you, I want to learn. My learning sometimes can be looked at as something that is a bit over-ambitious because I will ask. I am open. I will ask. I'll be like, Jamila, Yeah, I'll be like, how do you do this? How do you manage this? So some people will take it, especially people who are insecure. They will find it maybe offensive or prying a bit too much.
That knowledge is supposed to be shared.
Yes. So I'm the kind of person who will ask. And if I have information that I know, I will share. Because that was my mom. If you have food in the plate, unless your plate is empty, you do not touch into the main sauce to bring, to the main bowl to bring more sauce, no. When she learned that we were getting greedy, she put us back into the tray.
Everyone must eat from.
Everybody must eat from the tray, and you do not put your hand over the other person's. That for me is etiquette that I have grown with. If you don't have something, content, you stay, it's well. If you put your hand here, do not push it into the other person's. If you don't have it, it's well. If you ask and the person says they don't have, it is well. At least ask. My mom would say, always ask. But don't be there and deprive yourself of something because you think you can't access it. So after
you die in
hunger. So after we learned the movie, we learned the eating again, she brought us back to our individual plates.
Wow.
So I have learned to go in, do an introspection, and come back. So these are simple techniques that I think she taught us early, but for me, they have stayed with me. But also, she let us be as children. She'd say, go out there and explore. So I rode bikes as a child. Oh, yes, I did everything. I did dual, the bicycle thing.
How do they call it even? I've forgotten.
Yes.
The one with marble and...
So as a child, I climbed popo trees. I climbed all kinds of trees when that the leaf was falling. I rode bicycles. We were probably among the first kids to get bikes in Lira. We really, really rode bikes. In that, my dad would drive behind me while I rode to school, because after I bought me a bike, I did not want to enter his car anymore.
Wow.
So I'd be like, Daddy, I'm going to ride faster, so he would follow me from behind.
And those bikes, you cannot ride them fast.
Of course, but in your head, you feel like you are winning, and it worked. My struggle as a child was because of how open-minded we were and are, and I think I still struggle with now, is when you go out to an adult and you speak to them straightforwardly, there was always offense. My mom, before she beat us, she would always tell us, do you know why I'm going to beat you?
They give you the reason as to why they are going to beat you.
I'm going to beat you because of this. Or do you know or you don't know? Then she will explain. Because of what you have done, what do you think you deserve? How many cans? So sometimes you would say it, and I think she would see your remorsefulness, then she would forgive you. Or instead of beating you full, she gives you half. Or sometimes she gives you the full, depending on how remorseful you are. Now, when you were going to beat me at school, I would ask, but sir, oh madam, why are you beating me?
And that is very offensive.
You know, they first beat you first, then they explain.
They beat you for asking a question, then they beat you now.
Yes.
For the crime that you've committed or whatever.
So then you'd be seen as an arrogant child, but the truth is because of how you have been brought up to ask and to have reason for something that is being done. I do face that challenge now, but because I'm a self-aware person, I know where this comes from. It's my upbringing. I don't blame my parents. I'm grateful because I understand what I am doing, and it gives me accountability for myself. I'm accountable. I can't wake up today and I say, oh, this just happened. No, I'll take responsibility and say, oh, I think I might have had a part in this, or maybe my upbringing did this, or maybe there has to be something that...
Because they always say, whatever, you can know how someone has been brought up. When you interact with them, and you get to enter in their space, then you'll understand.
Absolutely.
Anyway, let's go back to when you came to Kampala.
Yes.
And now you're at Kawempe. What are some of the things, the memories that you hold to date about Kawempe?
One, our director, Mr. Mutyava. Wow. First of all, he was a gentleman that was always smart. He spoke very good English. He smelled so good. You would know he's coming by the perfume. The perfume would come first, then he would...
So all the kids knew that.
We all knew he has come. And then the other thing, I think he had the same etiquette as my parents. He was quite an English guy, very interesting man. Even before he beat you, he would tell you still. then sometimes it's like, why are you doing this? This is not behavior for a young lady like you. I don't think this is proper. So just his conversation would embarrass you. You did not need canes for it.
You start feeling guilty.
You start feeling guilty. Yes. So for me, I felt like he taught me etiquette. But he also taught me presence is important. Presentation is important. Also, your aura is very important. Because he had a very good aura. Very nice person. Very calm. Any place he walked to smelled like peace. So for me, that school brought me up like that. I barely got canes, but when I did, they were for not being the best. I was either number 1 or number 2. When I hit number 3, I got beaten. And of course, when I got beaten, for me who fears pain, the whole school would not have been beaten.
You cry like as if you have been captured.
Yes, I'm crying like I've been captured, yes. So
but those kids are always at school.
Those ones
before even they put their cane, it's just around here and someone and everywhere.
So because of that, I was quite a disciplined child, and I always made sure that I gave my best. I was either 1 or 2. I didn't have the luxury of doing 3. For me, that school taught me consistency, persistency, but the challenge of always doing better and standing out.
That is good. So after you finished P7, where did you go to? You said you went to
That's when I went to Aboke.
Now, what was that? To take you back to learn the language, or what was it?
I think, and this is low-key because I'm not sure, I found out that all of my first cousins, or majority of them, went to Aboke. I think we had maybe a small routine in the family.
It is always there in families.
I think it's always in families.
Yeah, because in my family, I think all of us went to Ngora High.
Exactly.
Madera girls,
yes.
Kumi girls.
Yes, something like that.
Yeah.
So I think the same was for me. So I found out that one of my aunties said, I must go to the school. And when I put it also, I was taken in. But Aboke, it's not necessarily the grades you have gotten that take you to the school. No. Every young lady is given an opportunity. So no matter what grade you got, you are given an interview at the school.
To see if you qualify.
Yes. The moment you qualify, you go. That is how the school is. So whether you got, I don't know which, the best grade, the lowest grade, the assumption is that every young lady has the ability to be her best version. And maybe a situation in her life at that point in time did not favor her. So they'll again give you an opportunity and put everybody in a flat rate that do this. If you go through, we are going to take you in. That's what Aboke does. Yes.
So when you went to Aboke, take us through senior 1 to senior 4, or you went up to senior 6?
I have a little break in the middle. So let me start by saying that recently we had a fundraiser for the library, and I'm going to tell you why I brought that up. We are building a library called Sister Alba Memorial Library, and we are still fundraising for it. Aboke Senior 1, we were all taught how to read. Did you read Mills and Bulls?
Those long time.
Jane Eyre, and we had a library.
As long as you've gone to a Catholic school.
A Catholic school, yes. The nuns made sure they were fully fledged. I came at a time when Sister Akello had just gone away, and she's the nun that went and brought back some of the girls when they were abducted from the bush then. And we also had Sister Alba. Now the nuns, I do not know what it was about them. They had just had an aura of heaven. They would speak. Aboke didn't have canes. We did not have anything to do with canes. We did not have shouting. We didn't have, no. Our administration was just about 5 people, minus the teachers. We had the head teacher, the deputy, the matron, and then probably the secretary, and then our doctor. They ran the school. They'll just come and say, young lady, why is this place dirty? That's all. If the mangoes fell from the tree, you all pick the mangoes and then put them back, took them to the kitchen. You don't eat the mangoes in the compound, but you had mango trees. Then they'll be distributed for break. Equally. Everything we ate, we worked for. We had a garden. I think they still do have the garden. You'd go and dig. It's cassava season, it's maize season, and you'd have this. The only days we'd have something very extraordinary would be when we had big days. And then they'd bring milk, biscuits, sweets, all these things they would bring from, some from abroad and some from here. In senior 1, I learned everything. If you are a Muslim, you are allowed to go out and do your prayers on Friday. But you had to learn everything from here as well.
Like you have to get out of the
Yes, they would allow you on special days to go out and pray.
By yourself?
They would escort you. But now because and I said special days, yes. 2, everything was for sharing. All the girls were equal. We didn't carry grub to school. So because of that, all the girls were equal. I learned how to dance properly in church. Yes, we learned how. Being a lector, I served at the altar.
Taking reading, the first
absolutely,
reading. I went to Catholic school,
yes.
So the first reading is taken from the book of
So there was no way you were leaving that school as an incomplete woman. You knew how to dig, you knew how to sieve rice, you knew
like everything.
There was everything, and then you knew how to pray. The rosary was mandated. What we call a goroto, a beautiful stone-made carved place where we would have Mother Mary, because Mother Mary is the center of Catholicism, and we'd have the girls who haven't yet come from the bush, the abducted girls right there. And we would pray for them daily. Majority of them have come back. We really thank God so much. We lost some of them. May they rest in peace. And we thank everyone who made sure that they came back home. That's a very important part. I'll share one experience of when we ran. So we're doing an exam. It was a history paper. And that day, we just saw a car come into the school. Then they said, oh, ladies, we need to run. The rebels are nearby. We're like, what? We've been hearing rumors that, they might be coming by. And yes, again, they want to get more girls. And I don't know if we took it very seriously. I was in senior 1 then. So we all came out of the classroom. The truth is I was doing a paper that wasn't working. I think I hadn't read. So I was really struggling. We ran. When we ran out, it was difficult. Some of the girls were hiding before. It's different when they say the rebels are somewhere and then they say they're here. Your brain sort of twitches. Stop thinking. So we ran. Everybody ran all over.
Until now, kids, they knock even each other.
Behind the classroom, in front of the classroom, behind a flower, behind. So me, I just stood confused. I ran everywhere and I saw everybody everywhere. So someone just...
Let us go for a short break. We'll come and pick up from there. It's interesting. I'm just imagining how everyone is running everywhere. You're still watching Super Soul Sisters here on UBC TV. Let us go for a short break. We shall be right back. Welcome back to Super Soul Sisters. My name is Jamila and you're still watching us here on UBC TV Inspiring Uganda. I just want to remind you that Super Soul Sisters runs every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Repeat on Friday, 11 a.m. And for some reason, if you're busy and you have missed, please get us on YouTube, still Super Soul Sisters. And we also have teasers on TikTok. Please watch us because we have such beautiful stories. But before we went for a break, Akello Sandra here, I call her Sandra mostly, had a very interesting story she was telling us. It's interesting now, but I believe by then it was a bit scary and traumatizing. You said they told you the rebels came, so...
They told us they're where they're nearby. So
now, who came? Was it the police?
It was a parent.
It was a parent who came driving?
Yes. I think they had rumors, because then the rumors always sometimes happen to be true.
Yes, especially...
So the parent had come to pick his daughter. But the people that filled the car were not his daughter. There were other students. It was... So
every kid went...
Every kid just went to the car, and the ones who could run. Then they encouraged the boys, because just on the other fence are seminarians. So they asked them to come and pick one girl and hold so that we had energy to run. So every girl had at least one guy hold her, or two guys if she was chubby, or if the guy had more strength, he could hold two girls. And then we ran, and somehow some of us arrived in Lira, others were brought by bus. So you
ran all the way up to Lira town?
Yeah, we did. Majority of us.
Now, who remained at school? Not even the head teachers?
They did remain, but they also had to make sure the girls were safe. They had to make sure everyone was out, so they really moved us.
And did the rebels go there?
No. Of course, they get wind also that you have left, so why are they coming, really? They have rakers, what they call spies, so they will check, yeah. But the Lord is good. Yeah, shortly after that, I went to Kangole. From that experience, my parents wouldn't allow me to go back. I went to Kangole for a year, but Aboke is addictive, so I came back. And Aboke is addictive. I can assure you many girls kept going back, and we can't explain why. It's a lovable school. Stayed up to senior 4, then I went to Mitala Maria, St. Balikudembe in Masaka.
Yes, yes.
I did my senior 5, but I felt very sick. After I felt sick, I decided to move to another school.
Sandra, you went to different schools.
That time I was sick. Yeah, I was really, really sick. So then I went to St. Joseph's, and then I finished from there.
St. Joseph's Nalia?
No, Namagunga. Okay. St. Joseph's High School, Namagunga. That's where I finished from.
And then from there?
I went to Makerere University and I did mass communication.
So you're supposed to be here?
I was here before. During my vacation, and I think that's about, no, I met you later. During my vacation, a friend I studied with in Aboke introduced me to radio drama. So then we were doing Rock Point. So I began...
We were the first writers of
exactly.
Rock Point.
So I got into Rock Point and began doing... Then it was actually, because Luo then was seen as a wholesome. Like you would have artists who going to Karamoja.
Yes.
Yes. So I did actually first. And I began doing Lango. Then I began doing artists. So it was really nice. And since then, it's been what, more than 10 years now? We've done this. Yeah, we've been in this for a while. So what that did for me, though, it opened doors for me. Since then, I have run many projects on languages. I took on language, actually, as a niche. So right now, I'm doing communications and language consultancy.
Wow.
Yes. So how I got to this, initially, I didn't take it as serious. But later on, when they were doing awards, they awarded us. They called us the best. We were awarded then. And then also a friend of mine called me to do translations for LC, local council elections.
Yes.
So we're doing sensitization and they asked me to do over 30 languages. I was shocked. And when I did it, he paid me. I'm like, I definitely must have done a good job. And since then on, it stayed with me. When I joined university, but before I joined university, during vacation, I worked for radio and TV. I was a presenter, a reporter at Radio Wa and TV Wa in Lira. So I presented on TV, but I also did news reporting. I did the same for radio. For the radio, I did peace talk programs, and those were for reconciliation between those who have come back from the bush and the people at home. Remember, during the attack from rebels, we had people, especially boys, who were made to mutilate their family members.
Yes. Oh.
Then there was rape and all those things.
Unwanted children.
Unwanted children. So that program, and I think they chose me because probably I was from Aboke and I had the newest, yes, and the sensitivity for it. They made me read letters. So I would read letters, would have rebels calling, would have our own brothers and sisters who have gone through that experience calling and say, we apologize. We understand there is this amount of hate. It's not because we wanted it. But
they were also recruited
yes, and then we were also forced. We apologize. So that is one of the most intimate moments of me as a journalist. It was just that reconciliation between the two, both families and then people who are out there and have come back. The letters were most intimate for me. So after that, I got into university. Then I did internship at Wizards Media. They really shaped me a lot. And
I remember one time I met you at Wizards when I used to come and voice.
Yes. And that was a very good place to learn. We ran beautiful programs. One of the most outstanding programs was...
the one of MPs?
Yes, the Parliament. I thought it was a very beautiful program because even I got to appreciate the bills that are in Parliament.
Yeah, it was a beautiful, until DG something.
DGF was closed, yes.
Closed and...
Yes, but now that program for me, you said outstanding things, for me that was one. That program helped you break down what the bill was, who brought the bill, what was the intention. We brought lawyers to explain what it meant, and then we also got our local leaders to speak into them. And then when they were brought down to radio stations, it was easy for our communities to understand what was being
talked about.
Yes. Now, if that program was running now during a time for elections, this would be amazing, because citizens then would be sensitized and they would understand what it is that we are talking about, what it is that we are getting into, because as of now, as a country, we are lacking in civic education. We are struggling in that area. I recently got into a class of international relations. It's a program that runs at American Center. It's called the Executive Program for Foreign Policy, International Relations and Diplomacy. It's a program sponsored by the American government. Very, very good program, run by a professor called Haj Ahmed. He does an excellent job, and he's had so many cohorts. But what that program did for me, first of all, is understand in which country am I? Why do we have the policies that we do? Who makes decisions for us as a country? Are they aware of the consequences of their decisions for us? Which population are we?
And what is the edge?
Yes. And
which edge is dominating right now?
And what is our production? Are we producing for this country? Are we producing for our growth as a country? Where are we going as a country? Sometimes you think that because you're privileged, you will not go through these things. But, you know, this world is very interesting. COVID showed us that we're in the same level, right?
Exactly. And there is always an equalizer.
There is an equalizer.
You can't say you're above.
Yes.
Because we are all human beings. We have the same blood running red. I've never seen a person with green, pink blood, not pink. Blue blood.
True. I was reading that story of Mr. Garoga. And the widow said she was very disheartened that they denied them a visa to go for treatment. And that's why he passed on.
Yes.
We also know many other people who are big people who have said they have not been able to travel. Or under some conditions, they have struggled. Maybe we should do an introspection sometimes as a country and see that sometimes we might be caught in this very situation. So for me, that program just helped me understand who am I and what is my contribution
to this country,
to my country. They keep saying, ask what you've done for your country, other than what the country is also
doing for you.
Because we understand that at that level. So for me, that's a part of me that I hope
it's interesting. And you being a journalist, you understand now in that perspective.
Yes,
but it also puzzles me when sometimes people say, to serve a government, to yambe, to serve. You are begging government to help, but you don't know that you yourself, you are government. What are you doing? Actually,
I kind of a bit do understand where they come from, because there are some things that can only happen when the government puts their hand. Let me give a very simple scenario. The road to your home.
Yeah, because there are policies which do not allow you to work on the road.
Yes. Now the road to your home, and you have a pregnant woman, or you have, you know, somebody that cannot move on road. Yes. That it's as basic as that. That is where you say, if the government doesn't come in, what am I going to do?
Those are very reasonable and understandable. I'm talking about someone
the light one.
We don't have food government to Yambeko, but you have land.
That one I completely do agree.
But there are things that you cannot, and this all comes to policies, as you've said.
I completely agree with that.
Going back to you. So now you said you do languages. You also, what else do you do? Like if, for example, someone is out there and they want to understand Sandra at this level now, what is it that you do?
I'm a communication specialist and a language consultant. Now, I came back to that because based on the background that I had, I took it a level higher. We now offer not just translations for Ugandan languages, but we also do for the international languages. We work with quite a large team, and we go to over 7 international languages. And we do this for conferences, for trainings, for meetings, for workshops. We offer that all. The same goes for interpretation. We have certified interpreters. Some of them, we fly them into the country. And these interpreters are the ones that we use for the conferences, for the trainings, like NAM, among other conferences. This is an opportunity for Ugandans. And we Because I'm also a facilitator right now at the American Center for that program, the foreign the executive program for foreign policy and international relations. And my niche there is the power and influence of languages in foreign policy, diplomacy, and international relations. And one of the things that we emphasize is that when you are an individual or an officer, whether locally or internationally, who understands more than one language, not just the local languages, but international languages, it puts you on a higher end to negotiate.
Yeah.
Both local, you know, when you're going to get a border guy and he speaks English,
yeah,
your money will be 10K.
Yeah.
But when you speak Luganda, you're going to get 5K.
I understand.
The same extends for negotiation. You would be able to understand. And when we talk about the language, you're not just talking about a language. A language comes with values. A language comes in culture.
Yeah, and you have to understand the culture of the language and the people.
If I greet you in Luganda, I'm most likely going to kneel. My knees, when I say, Jevale Kosevo, the knees go down. In English, my hand will come out. If I'm greeting you in Chinese, I'll probably or bow down, or there's a culture that comes with the language. And when you understand that and you speak to someone in that language, it makes it easy for you to understand. That's why when we're running that program, the one for the, it was called Our Parliament. It was actually called Our Parliament. Yes. We had to translate in the different languages.
I remember.
So that all the citizens of Uganda would be able to understand and appreciate.
And get an, you know, because radio says the more people trust the information, the more they will listen and use it.
Exactly. So that is what we are doing for languages. So I came all the way from advertising, writing scripts for radio, for TVCs as well, all the way. So that comes, it's a full package. Marketing campaigns, behavior change. You'd run a project, you write drama for it, you make people act it out so they can understand what it is that you want to say and communicate. It's very intentional.
Anyway,
then
lastly, as we summarize?
Lastly, the thing that came from communications which is development communications, is team building. Team building is understanding people you work with, appreciating them. Sometimes they don't understand themselves, but it is you. We've done that also for 10 years. And what we do is we just get into organizations, help them appreciate who are the people they're working with as a team, who are the individual characters, and how can you maximize their potential, because we are all different people. We probably will not give you all the training material, but we'll get that training material and break it down into things that into activities and programs that you will understand. If I tell you a story, I make you act it out. You probably take that message more than when I have given it to you as a training material. That is what we do for organizations. And then we'll also create an after-sale service. So when you do the team building, we also give you a small booklet to go with, especially for small teams. We'll do the training. So you write out goals. You have a vision board and things you follow up. Then we do quarterly follow-ups and check on you. How are you doing? Are you improving as an individual? And are you improving as an employee or an employer? Because at some point in time, you will also become an employer or you become an owner of a business. So we work on a holistic person.
Okay. So Sandra, thank you so much. That has been so lovely.
You're welcome.
I do languages myself, and I really respect that fact that people now have reached a point of appreciating the importance of using language for communication and for understanding each other, because we have a majority of people who actually cannot speak and understand the English language. So when you use the local language, they feel part of it.
That's true.
And that is why I have loved what you do. And then you also dance. I know that you used to dance.
God,
Do you still dance?
Yes. Actually, one of our most selling points right now are teaching wedding couples how to dance for their weddings. I've been doing Latin dance for over 13 years.
More than 13 years.
Okay, more than 13 years. So we have two particular projects that we do under that. One is the corporate Zumba. It's for workout.
And then you also have the one
Then
for
we
couples.
have the one for couples,
So
where we teach couples.
Find you? Where do you dance from so that we can come and join?
There are two ways. One, we can go to the client's location. Yes, especially ones that want to do weddings. Two, we are at Tintinda, Ministers Health Club.
Okay.
But we work on appointment because every client has a different niche. Yes, so when a client comes and they say, we want the wedding package, it means the couple, it means the entourage.
Yeah.
We would need to know how many dresses do you have as a bride. And we also show you how to walk and how to hold each other, because the dance has an etiquette. How do you hold a woman? How do you walk with her? And we teach you how not to kick, how not to step on the gown.
I know.
Oh, yes.
I know. Salsa and all Zumba, and it's not, you need to have passion for it, and it's also a dance of hygiene. That's one thing I know.
Oh, yes, because you're very close to each other.
You cannot manage.
But when we are doing the wedding, we don't just do the Latin. We incorporate the other dances that a couple might want.
So for those of you who are planning to get married and you want to give a spice in your wedding, she's the right person. You can look out for her on social medias. Akello Sandra, right? You'll always see her beautiful face there, and she will come and help you dance. And not only dance, cook for you food.
Oh my God, I forgot that part.
You know, cook for you food, traditional food from Tessa and Lango and Acholi, Northern, so that you don't have to hustle looking for someone from Central, another region cooking for you. Ebo, then Ebo comes when it is white instead of coming with a color. Or you get someone to cook Akello over a chadoi, then they cook for you a chadoi which is like this, and yet a chadoi is supposed to be soft. I also am passionate about cooking.
Oh,
or
nice.
Someone who cooks for you a bale, for those who understand that there's a mushroom mixed with the okra, and then they bring for you when it is funny, you know, because cooking is an art.
I feel hungry already.
So she does that and all that. Also communication, languages, all that. Look out for her. With that said, I want to thank you again for watching Super Soul Sister. Thank you so much, the team behind the cameras, the production team, UBC TV, for supporting the women cause. My name is Jamila Oluka. Bye-bye.